And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Talladega Superspeedway as we're set for our 26th race of the season. But more importantly, race 2 of the round of 8 for the PCSRA Buffalo Wild Wings Series. It's time for the running of the Sparks Energy 300. 113 laps of racing here today. And if our truck race yesterday and this morning's AutoZone Amateur Series race were any indication, we are in for a great treat here for you today. And interesting enough, the gal who's making her debut is on the pole, Lauren Grubias. She is on the pole position because Lauren Grubias, as things stand, looks like to be one of the drivers that would be into the final four spots to move up to this series for next season, which would be interesting. She's driving for Junior Motorsports number 8. Ari Springer alongside Hattie Swore, Bridget Thomas, row 2. There is the rest of your starting grid. Here's the points coming into today's race. As Lucky Prescott still leads the Rookie of the Year honors despite not making the playoffs, which is a bra. All right, let's get these drivers rolling out onto the track. And let's give you your playoff grid presented by Golden Corral. Monica Towns is the points leader after the first race of the round of 8. She owns an 18-point lead over Greta Wagner. 26-point lead over Annie Winters, who's third, and Max Lipson is currently 59 points behind, but he is also ahead of the cut line by a point, which Sanat is behind by 1 point. 30 points back is Wyatt Garcia. 36 back is Bell San Diego, and Darby King is only 48 points back entering this race. 2 weeks ago, none of our drivers that are in the playoffs in the Elite 8 went to victory lane. So if any of them go to victory lane here today at Talladega or next week's elimination race at Homestead, doesn't matter what happens at Homestead, they automatically punch their ticket into the championship 4. For Grubias, she's running 19 more laps than she ran yesterday, even though she finished a lap down. But she learned a lot from the truck race and now getting ready to apply that to her first career Buffalo Wild Wings Series start. And how big of an honor is it for Grubias to have her first career pole in her debut race? Also making her debut, since I forgot to bring this up, also Jessica Moore is making her Jessica Moore is making her, as the pace car, by the way, is off. Moore's making her second start. And I forgot to add, and Olympia Brightly is making her start. As green flag is out, we are racing at Talladega. Annie Crenshaw, by the way, was supposed to make her debut this weekend, but will be making her first 2 starts of her Buffalo Wild Wings Series career next week. As we're down the back straightaway, in the words of Mike Joy, a clean start. Hattie Swore in the 86, the Honda Accord. Remember, those two are teammates over in the Truck Series for DVR. DVR will be running a Chevy in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series next season. Hattie Swore, however, will be in the Monster Energy Series / Tier Series for next season. They're currently 3 wide and give the first lap lead to the Honda Accord of Hattie Swore. As I just clicked on the wrong camera angle. Sorry, I was looking at the pace car. Jared Underhill going for the race lead in the American Tire Dodge. Also, I forgot to mention the banners on the 12 and the 22 are different because one just has a black Xfinity banner, the other one just has a regular. So you can definitely pick those cars apart. As Jesse Art, who was eliminated from the first round, dropped 2 spots to 11th in the points, as she's just trying to find victory lane after making it into her first playoffs. Like I said, was eliminated after Nashville. 2 laps complete, working lap number 3. A long way to go. This is 300 miles. Emily Elizabeth in the 66. Emily comes into this race needing a very good run. It's been a very horrible year for her. 35th in the point standings. She is fourth from last in points of the drivers who have a charter for this season. And she's trying to find, and she's also one of the drivers in the danger zone of losing their charter for this season. As Jesse Art continues to lead. By the way, I'm in the VC with Cody, but I'm muted, but I'm listening to what Cody's telling me. I know Cody will watch the broadcast in just a second. Retta Wagner, one of the 8 drivers remaining in the playoffs, second in points. The gal she's trying to run down for the points lead started at the rear of the field. As Jesse Art, currently still your race leader, as we're going into spectator cam. Still a long way to go here in this race. As we're now on lap number 5. Oh, here's a good camera angle coming off turn number 2. That's a good look at all 42 drivers competing in today's race. Monica Towns, the points leader's back here. Sean Art's back here, just trying to ride. Monica Towns, as I say, comes in this race as your points leader. Seeing a number of drivers here at the back. Of course, JJ Park was eliminated after the round of 12. Former playoff driver this season. Stephanie Driscoll comes in this race 14th in the point standings. As of now, she and Lulu Champagne would be moving up to the Monster Energy Series / the divisions for next season. There's Jessica Moore. Remember, Jessica had to start the rear of the field because after what happened in the truck race yesterday, where she was being an annoying back marker, so her penalty was to start at the rear of the field for today's Buffalo Wild Wings Series race. There's Carla Sinat, one of the playoff contenders. Sinat is 1 point below the cut line. The guy she's trying to run down is Max Lipson. As Max Lipson currently, there, I can't find the 10. Where is the 10 of Max Lipson? Max Lipson, there he is. He's right in between, interestingly enough, the Winter sisters, April and Annie. Jesse Art still leads. The gal in second is Olympia Brightly. Brightly will be going full time for Daniel Voiles Racing next season. She's driving for Brandon Brown's team in that number 68 machine. Annie Crenshaw will make her Buffalo Wild Wings Series debut, as I said, next week when we go to Homestead, which will be an elimination race. In fact, Annie Crenshaw will be racing both Homestead and the season finale at Toronto. Monica Towns in danger of losing the pack, but we are still in the early stages of this race. 113 laps, 300 miles. That's the distance we go today. So let's see what the fuel mileage is for these cars. 59 laps. So these cars have the 22-gallon fuel cells. Jesse Art leading. Just remember, you cannot go below that yellow line to advance your position. And looks like the 13's in danger of losing the draft on board of Monica Towns. Yeah, she's right now about to be 2 seconds slower than the leaders because she's got no friends. And she's about to be by herself, which is a disastrous for the points leader. But if we see the dreaded big one taking place, then this could be good strategy as long as she doesn't get caught up in a wreck. And remember, since none of our playoff contenders went to victory lane 2 weeks ago at Kansas, if any of them go to victory lane here today, it doesn't matter what happens at Homestead next week. That is an automatic ticket into the championship four. But Monica Towns is going to need a caution. As we're on board Lucky Prescott here, look at this hornet's nest. We always call this the eye of the storm. Well, the storm is starting to brew. Most of these drivers have already dropped to the back just to stay out of trouble and to stay out of the dreaded big one. Remember, only two playoff contenders did not have trouble in our truck race yesterday. One of them, as you can go away, virus. I don't want to deal with you. Thank you very much. Yep, Monica Towns is now all alone as we're on board Jessica Moore. As we say hi to Cody in the chat, even though he hasn't commented in the chat yet, but he will eventually. Right now, Cody Smart currently owning a Chevy team. There's one of his drivers, Victor Gonzalez. Gonzalez was eliminated from the Truck Series Championship back at Nashville. Victor Gonzalez is trying to find victory lane there. He's trying to find victory lane here. And since he already made the playoffs in trucks, if he was in the danger zone, which if I look where he's at in points, even though he's 33rd in the points and be in the danger zone, he would be exempt because of the fact he made the playoffs for trucks, so that charter will be kept for another season. Is Jesse still leading this race? Yes is the answer. Yeah, Cody's currently doing the tally for Triple B as I'm recording this. Greta Wagner. See where all of the playoff contenders finished from Kansas from 2 weeks ago. Sorry if the deal froze. Greta Wagner finished 13th back at Kansas. And if I recall correctly, actually, Monica Towns finished 8th. She was the highest of the playoff drivers. Next highest was Greta Wagner, then Annie Winters. So if Greta Wagner gets another good run, unlike our Truck Series playoff grid, it doesn't matter what happens next week at Homestead. We could end up having two drivers possibly lock themselves a spot into the Final Four to compete for the championship. Max Lipson, on the other hand, needs a good run today to possibly get himself away from fourth in the standings. since he's the driver in that critical fourth position in the points. Darby King, I know, needs a good run today because remember, one more bad run for Darby King, she will find herself heading into Homestead Miami Speedway in a must win situation. There she is in that red 0. Going to be interesting to see who will be replacing her in that ride. Kaylee Rankin in a 31 as Wyatt Garcia led, and that's 5 points for Wyatt Garcia. Remember, he came in this race 30 points below the cut line. And with that lap led, that means as of now, according to my live points, he is 25 points below the cut line. He won't hold on to the lead because here comes the gal from Smart Motorsports, Stephanie Driscoll. These drivers will have to pit. They can go 59 or longer on the fuel. But the points leader has lost the draft. And like I said, she's running 2 seconds slower than this pack right here. And of course, everybody's on fresh tires. Cars are handling good. As the tires start to go away, these cars are going to start handling. Wyatt Garcia came as race 6 in the points, didn't have a good result. I will have to make that decision. I'll think about that, Cody. He was asking me about the points as far as that's concerned. Oh yeah, the points for global for the races we didn't do got voided. As Jared Underhill currently the leader. And yeah, I'll go ahead and void the 2 races, which is Darlington and Kansas. But we'll make up those points in our next elimination race weekend, which would be the Charlotte Roll. But back on topic here, as Jake Putnam's going for the race lead. Jake Putnam is the only Joe Gibbs racing car other than the 54 that has yet to go to victory lane this season. Putnam comes into this race 15th in the points. He's going to get denied because Wyatt Garcia just got another lap led for himself. There's Monica Towns coming off turn 4. This pack is in turn 2. So Monica Towns is going to need a caution immediately. Okay, cool. There's April Winters. April Winters had a not so good race yesterday in the Truck Series. Of course, this morning in the AutoZone Amateur Series, if you weren't with us, we had the points leader, Marcus Sellers, get caught up in a wreck, which allowed all of his championship rivals, including Michael Anderson, to capitalize. And now it's a 2-horse race as far as the Rookie of the Year is concerned over in the Amateur Series, which we will not see them next week. They are off next week. And we'll see them in 2 weeks at our season finale in Toronto. It's going to be a busy weekend at Toronto. Yeah, Monica Towns is going to need a caution. Oh, they're going 4 wide here, and we've seen 4 wide become an issue this weekend. Imagine what the Monster Energy Series drivers will be feeling like tomorrow. And Hattie Swore will be in that race tomorrow, along with Lucky Prescott. Because remember, Prescott will be back in the 96 next season. John Wesley Allen in the 83, who was already eliminated. Boy, they were getting really dicey. And Jessica Moore, who had to start the rear of the field, has clawed her way to the front. Now remember, Monica Towns, and I don't know if Cody heard this. Monica Towns was the highest of the playoff drivers last time out of Kansas. So if she has a run, then this could put her in a bit of an interesting scenario heading into our elimination race next week. And Greta Wagner, who finished in the top 15 at Kansas 2 weeks ago, if she gets a somewhat a good run today, she might be our first driver locked into the championship 4, providing she doesn't get caught up in an incident. Oh, they're starting to lean on one another. That was close between the 55 and the 7. That was Hugo and J.J. Park, who was already eliminated from the playoffs. They were rubbing paint. Also, I just realized the 9 and the 7 have the same paint scheme, but you can pick those two cars apart due to the colors of the number on the side. Even though they're in the same paint scheme, which I forgot to change paint schemes on those cars, which is my bad. There's Sierra Harris. Harris will be leaving Smart's team at the end of the season. She will also be leaving this ride at the end of the year. We don't know what her plans are for next season. Been some rumors she was going to drive for Zachary Taylor's team, Indiana Motorsports, but it was probably the worst kept secret in the paddock. She may be driving for DVR in the Truck Series next season. So we will have to wait and see what her plans will be for next year. Wouldn't that be interesting? Jesse Art's going to retake the lead as we've been having some lead changes, but we're still green flag racing. Monica Towns still lost the draft. Still trying to get a caution. We don't get a caution. Make sure cautions are turned on. So that way I didn't derp. Yeah, cautions are turned on. Okay. As long as I had cautions turned on, we're fine. If not, then I goofed. But we're fine. Seeing some playoff contenders back here, just trying to stay out of trouble. One of them being Annie Winters, who comes in this race third in the points. And she was a total of, I don't know how many points she was ahead of the cut line. I didn't see the Discord, what Cody told me. Darby King's back here. I mean, like I said, if Darby King gets caught up in a wreck because of her bad finish at Kansas 2 weeks ago, she would enter Homestead possibly in a must-win situation. There's Bella San Diego. Bella San Diego, also another driver who cannot ill afford another poor finish, or she could also possibly join Darby King if they get caught up in an incident. She would join Darby King possibly in a must-win situation. They were starting to get a bit dicey, but they're selling it down, so this is not good news for Monica Towns. The other thing is, when we're getting ready to come halfway into a fuel run, we're getting ready to pass our fuel run, is going to be tires. Yeah, there you see I was talking about with the paint scheme on the 9 and the 7, but the 9 has a blue number. The 7, I think, has like a white number or something like that. But like I said, you can pick those two cars really apart from one another unless they're the identical schemes, and that will be a nightmare for me. Not seeing a whole lot. This is becoming just almost like our AutoZone Amateur Series race this morning. We also found out today, as we were coming into the get ready to do both the AutoZone Amateur and Buffalo Wild Wings Series race today. We found out today that Patrick Combs, who currently is in the 69 in the AutoZone Amateur Series and the 51 for Kyle Busch Motorsports, will be gone from both of those rides at the end of the season due to the poor performances, which doesn't really surprise you. So we don't know if Patrick Combs is going to move down to the East and West Series or face no ride for next season. Carlos Sinat currently the leader. It was announced today that this 32 ride will be an all-star team next season in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series. As April Winters has now taken the lead from Carla. Who would be the driver for those rides is going to be determined at a later date. If you're just joining us, this is the early going of the Sparks Energy 300, round 26 of the Buffalo Wild Wings series, and they're about to lap Monica Towns. Monica Towns is coming into this race as the points leader, so as of now, according to my live points, she's going to find herself in a very precarious spot going into our elimination race next week. As April Winters currently the leader. Nathan Orman, by the way, joined in the Discord because I haven't talked to Orman in a while. Of course, Darby King really needs a good run today, so she would not be in a must-win situation heading into our elimination race next week, and I see her moving up to the front. Jared Underhill, Kaylee Rankin. And if for those of you that don't know, Sarah Costello will be driving that 31 next season for DVR. Of course, it's currently out of Quentin Moore Motorsports, and Monica Towns have now been caught by the leaders, and now she's about to be a lap down, but she is up to speed. So that caution didn't come at a great time for that 80 or for that 13 team. Sorry. So Monica Towns is now officially one lap down. So that is not good news for the gal that came in this race as your points leader. As Jared Underhill, currently the leader. Surprising this race is a lot tamed in the two races we did this morning in the AutoZone Amateur Series and also our Truck Series. Here comes Darby King. Bella San Diego did not lead a lap, so she was denied a lap lead. Darby King's about to get denied by Wyatt Garcia. And just remember the 0 and the 45 come into this race in the danger zone and could possibly in a must-win situation, but we still have a long way to go. Wyatt Garcia will be leaving this ride, which is Robert Yates Racing, which will now be rebranded to Spartans Motorsports next season. Team owner Jarrett Underhill will be announcing his driver lineup at a later date. There's Olympia Brightly in the 68. Olympia Brightly will be a DVR driver next season, as I forgot she was in the series, so she will take the spot that was originally going to be Chloe Erickson. And speaking of Chloe Erickson, you will see her and the other Monster Energy Series drivers tomorrow. Sean Art running in fifth. Sean actually, if you didn't tune in as of this recording, and I didn't tell Ormy this, if you didn't watch the DRL Red Bull GT series, Sean and Jesse got top 10 runs there. And right now, only one of our playoff contenders is a lap down, as Emily Elizabeth has taken the lead. Jessica Moore in second. If you didn't tune into our truck race yesterday, Jessica Moore was called to the big red truck for impeding traffic and really screwed a number of drivers out of a possible win, which helped Tico Jumiaka, who is going to be in tomorrow's Monster Energy Series race, punch his ticket to the championship 4. As Molly Thomas is in second. Last time we had Molly and last time Molly Thomas was here at Talladega, she had a frightening accident in the 88, which is in the 88 at the time, which was Sandy Watson, who you'll see her tomorrow. And of course, where did her accident happen? Coming out of the tri-oval, entering turn 1, where she hit that safer very hard. I think it was her and Manny. Yeah, it was her and Manny Rivera. There's Lauren Grubius. If Ormy is not aware, Lauren Grubius won the pole and is making her Buffalo Wild Wings Series debut. Her teammate in the Truck Series, Sarah Costello, locked her a spot into the Buffalo. Well, let me try it again. Her teammate Sarah Costello in the Truck Series locked herself a spot into the Buffalo Wild Wings Series. And these drivers are getting closer to making their first pit stop. We're on lap 37 right now. This is pretty impressive for Grubius, to have this opportunity. Dita Voles Racing would like to have her in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series. Even if she doesn't make it into the Buffalo Wild Wings Series, she's still going to run some more Buffalo Wild Wings Series races for next season. I believe this is the only scheduled race unless she makes it into the she locks herself a spot. Because remember, Prudence Littlejohn, who you'll see her next week at Homestead, is supposed to have a Buffalo Wild Wings Series start. Remember, we had a late race restart this morning in the AutoZone Amateur Series. Did we hear an accident? No, we did not. But Bella San Diego's dropping back. This is not good for another playoff contender. Because remember, if Bella San Diego has a poor finish, she would enter Homestead in a must-win situation. Also, we found out this morning, speaking of Grubius, I'll wait for Cody to finish talking to Ormy so I can tell him the news. If you didn't hear the news this morning, Daniel Voiles Racing will be Lauren Grubius will be getting some sponsorship. And here comes a bit of a shocker. Billy Kitchens, after a miserable season, is no longer going to be the driver of the 8 truck. Grubius will be moving over to the Budweiser Chevy Silverado for Daniel Voiles Racing for the remaining 2 races. I don't think anybody saw that one coming as the 13's about to lose the draft again. Hopefully these drivers, hopefully we will not have a pit lane incident because we've had that in our truck race. And Mandy Evans was docked 25 points. So Mandy Evans, who had a poor finish on top of that, is guaranteed to be in a must-win situation next week. Victor Gonzalez in second. Gonzalez was recently eliminated from the truck title, trying to go for his first win of his Buffalo Wild Wings Series career. He won the Truck Series. So we don't know what's going to happen to Billy Kitchens now that. I'll try to ignore Cody as far as the BC is concerned since I'm muted. We don't know what's going to happen to Billy Kitchens for the final 2 races of the season. Well, we'll see what's going to happen. We're getting super close for these drivers to come to pit road to make some pit stops. I'm not surprised that DVR is going to go ahead and take the risk of having Grubius in the 8 truck, which will begin next week at Homestead. But at the same time, considering the 8 truck is not having themselves a good season and currently goes into that race weekend in the danger zone. Billy Kitchens will be driving for Norm Benning's team for the last 2 races of the season. So we will no longer see that number 8 GameStop Silver Ford F Series, excuse me, for the last 2 races. So I can tell you that 8 truck really just needs to find something good for next season. And of course, if Billy Kitchens does lose his ride, which is going to look like it's going to happen, he will officially lose his charter for next season. That's where DVR says, we're going to help Grubius try to get her spots secured for the Buffalo Wild Wings series for next season. Excuse me. And I talked to Ormy, why the decision was made on that. He said, Billy is really has not impressed me so far in his rookie year, and I think the move for DVR to take the 8 and Billy Kitchens to go to maybe having no ride, I think was probably the right decision. As Jared Underhill nearly came down in front of Jake Putnam there, that could have been the big one right there. That could have swept some playoff contenders involved, but thankfully we keep it together. So that will be very much, Billy Kitchen's season over. Oh boy, they're about four wide. Man, they're keeping it together. Unlike the truck series where they didn't keep it together. Of course, tires are starting to go away, fuel's starting to get minimum. Things are about to get a little shaken up. Here's Bella San Diego. If she leads this lap, this could really help her not be in a must win situation if she has another bad finish. Drag race between the 45 and the 40. Give it to the 45. So a couple of playoff contenders have already led some laps. Hugo in second. As we're coming up to lap number 50. Of course, football's already underway, and I'm not watching my Bucks because I'm doing the race. And surprisingly, we're not under yellow, to my surprise. Oh, we got pit stops. We got pit stops, ladies and gentlemen. Pit stop. Pit stop. Amanda Wallace is in. The one car is in. That would be Driscoll. Makoto Tanaka and pole sitter Lauren Grubius have hit the pit lane. So our first stops of the day coming around lap 46, lap 47. And it broke the pack up if you didn't notice. About to be 125 miles into this race. They're probably either taking no tires or taking fuel only. Some other cars coming to pit road. Hopefully, we don't have a pit lane collision. Oh, look out, look out, look out. Oh, we're going to have a lot of cars coming to pit road. Got a lot of drivers, a lot of takers coming to pit road. Now, let's make sure we're careful and not cause a pit lane collision. Monica Towns just came to pit road. Wyatt Garcia just took the lead. Got to be careful trying to merge. We're on lap number 48 of this race, and we've already had our first round of stops. Wyatt Garcia and them coming to pit road. Remember, you got to make sure you're down to 55 miles an hour. Annie Winters, slow down there, young lady. That was almost a pit lane. Got some more takers. Some of these drivers that already stayed out, boy, they're regretting not pitting. We'll be at lap number 50 of this Sparks Energy 300. Levin's probably going to come to pit road. Same with the 45. And yep, they're coming to pit road. This is actually, interestingly enough, the longest green flag run to start the race this weekend, may I remind you. And Cody's raging about the football games. All right. While some drivers are trying to come back onto the track, careful we don't cause a big wreck. I don't know who's leading this race as we're looking at Amanda Wallace here. Luke Peters still leads. While these drivers are getting up to speed, we're going to take our first break of the day as our first round of stops hit the books. And I'll be right back and put up my wheel. We're almost to the halfway point in the Sparks 300. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our live coverage of the Sparks Energy 300. Alongside Nathan Orman and Cody Smart, who are currently watching on the PCSRA pit box. I'm Dean DeVoyles up here in the booth at Talladega, Alabama. April Winters has taken the lead. We just finished up our first round of green flag pit stops. So far, this race has yet to see our first yellow of the day. We've yet to see, however, the big one, which I believe will be coming later in this race. Oh, Jesse Yard's blown up. Jesse Yard is blown up. Oh, Jesse Yard's blown up. Hi, Chiquilla. Good afternoon. Well, Jesse Art's day is done. That's too bad. Sean Art is back from the VC. Well, Jesse Art's day is sadly done. That also stacked the field up as Amanda Wallace leads. And Jesse Art will teleport to pit road. That also will be a free spot for Monica Towns. Jesse Art has teleported back to pit road. We are still under the green. Oh, I don't like the looks of this right here. Oh, be careful. John Wesley Allen, you could commit female abuse. Okay, we're good. Oh, yeah, the 9, the 7. I don't know if the 7 has different colors or not. Yep, the 7 has the same colors as the 9. Okay. Okay, that's going to be a commentator's nightmare. Well, first car out of the race is Jesse, and Monica Towns has passed the 19. They have pushed Jesse back into the paddock. There's like an escape road that the 19 took where the safety trucks are, so they're gonna get her to safety, and we're gonna stay under the green flag. Okay, big mama. Big mama. Big daughter. As we're getting closer to the midway point of today's race. I am not even going to go there. Thank you very much. Mia Watson, Kaylee Rankin have lost the draft. Lucky Prescott has done the same, almost. I didn't ask. I'll probably ask Tequila in a second if she got my deal. Yeah, Mia Watts, this is not a good run. There's Bella San Diego. And Jared Underhill, currently the leader. I talked about this in the ignition blew up on the 19 of Jesse Art. If I'm not mistaken, Jesse Art, I believe, finished out of the race 2 weeks ago. Let me make sure I'm reading this right. Yes, Jesse Art out of the race for the second race weekend in a row. Last week was out of the race and finished dead last. Today she finishes out of the race dead last due to a mechanical failure. Last week was a crash. So two bad races in a row for Jessie Yard, and she's going to be 12th in the points. We're just past the halfway point. We're on lap 58 of 113, so we are past the halfway point of today's race. Kaylee Rankin's not having a good run. There's the 17. Our Wendy's race menu. Tomorrow is the Monster Energy Series division races as we wrap up our Dega weekend. Then AutoZone Amateur Series will be off next week as there's Darby King who's running 20th. That's somewhat a good result. Somewhat. Because remember, Darby King came into this race one of the drivers in the danger zone of needing a good run or find herself in a must-win situation. Ditto for the 45. I will be very surprised if this race goes caution-free, which I probably will jinx it. So as I said, we're going to have our Data weekend wrapped up tomorrow for the Monster Energy Series. Then we will have the West Series race that will be not taped. They'll be at Phoenix. Then we will have Homestead Miami Speedway for our final elimination races for all three series. That will whittle our playoff grids down to the final four. And if you weren't with us yesterday in the Truck Series race, as I'm going to have to wait. Okay, then. If you weren't with us after the truck race yesterday, team owner Zachary, as I was going to say, Zachary Taylor was fined $25,000 for comments he made towards the officials of the Coca-Cola Truck Series race yesterday. Bella San Diego currently in second. Amanda Wallace not in the playoff hunt. However, Bella San Diego is, and if she goes to victory lane, that is a Final Four berth for her. Alarm just went off.
Oh, Stephen, you hit him, Stephen. Sorry.
I think I got kicked out of the Discord call, but that's all right. I'll get back in it after this race is over. Talk about he had no manners. Checking back here. This pack's starting to form up and starting to chase down that main pack because they got split up during the pit stops. I should have turned off my alarm, but for some reason I didn't. That's all right. I'll fix it later. I'm not going to do it right this second. Still, we have yet to have our first caution of this race. But we will eventually. And Monica Town's currently in 41st. Well, right now it's not looking too good for her. I do apologize if Steven rudely interrupted me, even though he's not going to occur. But anyway, there's Samantha Greenville. Greenville needs a good run because one topic we normally don't discuss that we need to start discussing is that 5 drivers here in the Buffalo Wild Wings series at the end of this season, at the end of next week's race at Homestead and our finale at Toronto, they will lose their charters at the end of the season. Right now, coming into this race, the drivers who are in the danger zone of losing their charters for next season are Sierra Harris, rookie Emily Elizabeth, Chloe Carmichael, Luke Peters, and Mia Watts. Those 5 right now, as things stand, need a good run or lose their charters for next season. And the bad thing for Mia Watts, she's supposed to go up to the Monster Energy Series. That may not happen. So we'll have to see if that will change or not. As Amanda Wallace currently still a leader, Penske has yet to go to victory lane here in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. What I may end up doing is probably pausing the stream so I can go shut off the alarm on my phone. Let me do that. We're going to take a little commercial break while I fix my... Okay, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. Discord was being a derping hyena. Wait a second, I need to... Sorry about that, y'all. There we go. Sorry, you didn't miss much other than I had to go shut up my damn phone because... As I was saying before, I had to take that little mini commercial break. Penske has yet to go to victory lane here in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. I don't think they went to victory lane in Monster this season. Nothing I can say for Kaylee Rankin and Mia Watts. Let me make sure. Okay, it's 110. So far, we've yet to have the big one, which is a little bit surprising. This time in our Truck Series race yesterday, we had about two or three cautions and a number of drivers dropping out of the race as a result. So far, we only have um, no yellows and only one driver out of the race, but that was a mechanical failure.
Yeah. Sorry, Joanne. Let's go to my room, man. I know you don't want to hear that.
Right now, nobody is starting to get aggressive until we get to the end of this race. Checking Victor Gonzalez in this big second pack that are trying to run down these six, and they're going to get reeled in very soon. But if we get a caution, that's going to bunch the field back up. This pack, by the way, led by Scarlett Nelson. Nelson has yet to confirm where she's going to be driving for next season in the Buffalo Wild Wings series, as I'm trying to not. And yeah, they're gaining on the leaders. It's a 3-second lead. This pack is starting to reel in those top six. Remember, we ran here in the spring. The Buffalo Wild Wings series did. And so far here in the fall race here at Dega, it's been a complete opposite. But it could happen. I mean, there's still going to be a possibility we could see the big one. We're probably not going to see it until probably right around when we get to the end of this race, where these drivers start pushing the envelope. As Carla Sinat currently leads this pack. I'm checking back here because the leaders, they're just fine. It's this pack I'm a little concerned about. But so far, they're not doing anything except just maintaining 3x3x3. I mean, you can go 4 wide. The problem is trying to lean. Can't lean on one another. Yeah, don't lean on each other. You'll cause a giant accident. Yeah, they're starting to gain on the leaders. Yeah, they're quickly starting to catch these leaders. Because we have 3 Dodges, 2 Chevys, and 2 Fords. Yep, it's correct. 3 Dodges, I think. No, I'm sorry. 2 Dodges, 2 Fords, 2 Chevys. I'm sorry. Now they're starting to get single file. As Lulu Champagne still leads the second pack as they're still trying to reel in the leaders. Hi, Brian. Yep, football's on. Weird to have no racing today. That's weird. But I'm looking forward to the second race of the third round. Excuse me. This is the second race, second round. By the way, I forgot to tell you all this. Let's see. Bella San Diego leads member. If she goes to victory lane, she's in the final 4. Ooh, that was nearly close with a 68. Nearly leaned on playoff contender Monica Towns. That could have been the big one, but thankfully they got off of one another. Let's go on board of Hugo. This has been a very good, entertaining race so far here. This is how you want to be in excess of 190 miles an hour. This is the Napa Toyota on board, not Napa Ford, Cody, you derp. Check on Grubius, who's having a solid day, staying out of trouble. And I believe they have caught the lead. I don't think they've caught that lead pack. They're still trying to catch him. There's Darby King in the 0. Grubius just getting experience and just trying to learn. Even though she's not running well, even though she's running last time by, scored in the 37th position. Doesn't matter where she finished, she's just trying to learn and get experience in that Poppy Banks Chevy Camaro out of Junior Motorsports. As we say hi to Jared in the VC, even though I'm muted. Coming up to 200 miles here and 100 miles to go. Put my phone down so I can drink. I'll take another. Oh boy, this is gonna get dicey. It's gonna get dicey. Oh boy, if they stay like this could end in tears, y'all. Wait, what? You're talking about medicine. Okay, never mind. Yeah. Oh boy, this is getting dicey. This is not good for some of these drivers in the playoffs. How are they still surviving? I do not know. Oh no, they just put the rookie Groovius in a 4 wide situation. This could end in tears, y'all. I don't know how on earth we have not wrecked and we're only on lap 77 of this race. And I haven't said, oh, trouble yet. I'm keeping an eye on the second pack. This second pack is scaring the devil out of me, and I know it's about to happen. Those first 6 drivers, they're fine. It's this pack that scares the crap out of me. And the problem is with this pack, it's got most of our playoff contenders in it. It's going to take one mistake for somebody to do something bad and cause a 20-car pileup. because we still have enough cars to do the big one. Oh no, 43. Oh no, 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 no. 43 is now 4 wide. It's starting to get really dicey in the second pack. That's why I focused my attention on this pack. That's why we haven't said, oh, we got a crash. But we're still surprisingly keeping it together, which, how long is it going to last? Is my next question. And the other question is, will these drivers have enough fuel to make it to the end? Plus, we got 2 lap cars we could be coming up to before this thing's over. If the next time I would have picked a restrictor plate race, that could be a wreckfest. It could be Ricky. May just have 2 Ricky races next season. If we don't see a caution this one, the Dega's getting dropped. I still can't believe they have settled it out. How long will it last? Well, we don't know, as we're coming towards the end of this thing, and we are still without a caution. Boy, it's going to come down to the wire if we're going to see the yellow or not. I would have thrown a yellow, then we would have made the restart a little bit more interesting. Starting next season, I'm going to start throwing cautions for every time we have a long green flag run, just for the hell of it. Excuse me. Thank you. Damn allergies. Ugh. Yep. Hate those. Yeah, every time it changes weather, the allergies start to go up like crazy. Amanda Wallace leads. This is going to be a big points day for the 45. Because remember, she gave us race 7th of the 8 drivers in points. The only way this could change is, by the way, Justin Hugo in that Napa Toyota has lost the draft. The only way things could change is if we get a caution right here and right now. What I'm scared about is how many cars could get collected in the big one. They're really getting dicey back here in this pack. As we're coming to 30 laps of racing to go. Time for a little crank it up, shall we? Remember when this race started and I talked about the eye of the storm right here? Well, the storm is starting to brew. Thank God Monster Energy is not doing a full distance of 188 laps. Let's get that right. Oh, we got some four wide. Got some four wide. Please do not lean on one another. Please do not lean on one another. Please do not lean on one another. Oh, 83, 86, leaning on each other. Oh, please do not wreck. Please do not wreck. Oh my God, they're still four wide. How? They're not going to make this work the rest of the race. Let's get that right. They're not going to make this work. They are not going to make this work. They are not going to make this work the entire race. I'll be surprised if they did. How close are they away from those lap cars? Pretty close. Darby King up there in seventh. Two drivers who came into this race needing critical runs to avoid being in a must-win situation. Darby King and Bella San Diego currently in the top 10. This could really wreak havoc on the playoff scenarios heading into Homestead next week. And I don't know who's on the chopping block for you Blewett as far as this race is concerned. Boy, four wide's okay. Five wide's about to be a death sentence. Goodness me, the Monster Energy Series drivers should be a nervous wreck, especially those that are in the playoff hunt. We get a caution here. This could change the strategies. And Darby King has about caught up to the 11. This pack is about caught up. Darby King's just telling Xavier Allstott, push the hell out of me. Let's catch the leaders. And they've caught him. This pack has just erased a 3-second deficit and has caught the leaders, the 6 leaders who were running side by side. So now we have this huge lead pack, minus Hugo and 2 other drivers. Now things are about to get interesting. As the laps tick down, the pulse rate starts to tick up. The intensity is building in this race. Well done to Darby King and that second pack, reeling in the 6 leaders. There's Carlos Sinat. So all 8 of our playoff contenders who are not involved, well, other than the 13 who is a lap down and has never fully recovered from her lap down of losing the draft. All 8 of our playoff contenders are in this lead pack, and neither of them have been involved in a wreck. And only Jesse Art's the only driver out of this race due to a mechanical problem. We have A, not seen a caution. B, we are about to have the big one the way they're racing. They are not going to make it the way they're racing. This could end in tears. Somebody in this pack is going to make one mistake and cause a huge wreck. Oh, yeah. We still have one more round of stops to go before this race is over, may I remind you all. We're well within our window of making it to the end. Let me check the options here. I'm trying to see. Oh dear. Remember, you don't want to get into the left rear of any of these drivers. If Talladega doesn't become a wreck fest, I have a feeling Homestead would. As Diana Lawson leads, we're going to have the big one very soon. Remember what happened at Ricky when somebody came out of the pits, caused a little bit of a stack up. We only have 37 in this, well, 38 in this lead pack if you count the 13 who's a lap down. Only 3 cars have lost the draft and going to need a caution, which is looking very unlikely as we're down to 20 laps to go. And Max Lipson leads. Remember, he came in this race in that critical 4th position in the points. And with Monica Towns out of contention to possibly win this race, any of the 7 drivers who are on the lead lap in the playoffs win. Doesn't matter what happens at Homestead. You're in the championship 4. 20 laps to go here at Talladega. I cannot believe we have not had a caution yet. I am a little amazed. They're not going to make it. Oh boy. Oh, we got pit stops. Pit stops. Final stops of the day. Oh, Hugo's got a problem. Justin Hugo with a problem. Oh, he came to pit road. Never mind. I was about to get ready to say, did Justin Hugo stall on track? The answer was no. He came to pit road. So now these pit crews, this is a critical pit stop. Unless we get a caution here, it's going to come down to who has the best pit crew. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Do not cause a problem. Do not cause a problem. And looks like we are not causing any trouble whatsoever. Kaylee Rankin just came to pit road. So these drivers will make it the rest of the way. This is going to really put everything in a big situation. Olympia Brightly would have the race lead. She's going to stay out. She already passed Lulu Champagne. This is going to really set us up for our elimination race next week at Homestead, as I said. Just try to be careful. Some of them are trying to get to pit road. Some of them have just came off pit road. 68's coming in. 42's coming in. Remember what happened in the truck race? Fuel mileage came into play, and it really shook up who won the race. As Brightly is in. Mia Watts is still on pit road. Wonder if they're just getting fuel only. I'm really not surprised this race has been an absolute yawn fest, which I've disappointed the Army. And now Army's sad. Oh, who's next to me in the booth? Oh, it's my three friends. Oh, my three friends are trying to cheer me up. Gee, thanks. My three friends, Elmer, Elmo, and Kermit, are trying to cheer me up for some reason. I guess they want to send me a cake or something. I don't know. I still cannot believe we have not had a yellow. I swear, if nobody dies in this race, I'm going to be shocked. Like, gets involved in a wreck is what I'm saying. Got some drivers already lost the pack. I think we've already cycled through our final stops of the day. Everyone can make it the rest of the way. We're just waiting for timing and scoring to update. And it still says Olympia Brightly leading this race. But she's going side by side with Lulu Champagne, and that's not doing them any good because don't look now. Lucky Prescott's coming, and she's bringing playoff contender Max Lipson right up to this mix. So the 42 and 68 doing their side by side, not doing their hopes any favors. The last thing the leaders do not want to see is a caution. And remember, the 68 and 42 went an extra lap further than these drivers. Boy, with the second round of our pit stops. Let me go get some ice in the cup. I think the officials are too busy eating Buffalo Wild Wings for some reason up in the booth or up in the up in race control next to me. And this would actually be our first restrictor plate race. We would end up having no cautions or no big ones. There's JJ Park, who was eliminated from round one. Wyatt Garcia, on the other hand, excuse me, might have put himself in a very interesting scenario. But look, right now, we're about to have lap traffic come into play, and Mia Watts could decide who wins this race. Down to 12 to go here at Dega. Olympia Brightly. How would it be for Olympia to win this race? How would it be for Lauren Grubius to win in her debut for Junior Motorsports? And remember, last time out in 2 weeks ago at Kansas, a non-playoff driver went to victory lane. We could end up having that same scenario happen again today, where nobody in the Elite Eight went to victory lane. And the only playoff drivers who I could see possibly advance, maybe, unless they have a bad run next week at Homestead, would be Max Lipson, who right now, if I'm looking at this wreck, he is the second highest playoff contender. He came as race fourth in the points. 10 to go at Talladega and still no yellow, to my surprise. Not only that, they have also caught Kaylee Rankin. So these two are about to let me try that again. These two are about to settle this race. 10 to go. As Mia Watts trying to stay on the lead lap. 44 went high, but that was a bad decision. You don't want to make your move too soon. Now they've caught Kaylee Rankin. Have they caught the 55? They're going to at some point. Boy, this could come down to the wire here. As Prescott leads, you don't want to make your move too soon. I also see Annie Winters, one of the playoff contenders. If she, Wyatt Garcia, or Carla Sinat wins, they're into the championship four. Keep that in mind. And here comes Annie Winters. As I said, if any of the drivers that are on the lead lap that are playoff contenders wins, they're off to Toronto for the championship race. Doesn't matter what happens to them next week. And Winters decided to go up high. That was not a smart move. As we're coming down to the end of this one, 8 to go, 7 to go next time by. Lucky Prescott is a sitting duck. I don't know how these drivers are surviving this race without a wreck. Here comes Carla Sinat, but did she make her move too soon? As Sinat leads, remember, Carla Sinat's doing a one-off season here in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Stephanie Driscoll is yet to go to victory lane. She wants to get her first career win before going to Monster or the Tier Series. Annie Winters trying to end off her racing career with a trip to victory lane and a trip to the championship four. And they're catching Hugo. Oh boy, Hugo's going to play a factor in who's going to win this race. Carla Sinat cannot pull out to a big lead. She's going to be screwed. Just remember, you have 8 drivers going for a championship. You have another 34 drivers who are trying to find victory lane. Don't count out Sean Hart. His little sister was out of the race due to an engine failure. That should have been a concern for the Toyota camp. Six to go. Here comes the 17. He made his move possibly too soon. They have caught Justin Hugo. 17's going to go up high, but he made a move too early. Here comes Sean Hart in the 18. Getting pushed by Jessica Moore. Moore, who was in trouble with the officials yesterday, trying to redeem herself today. 5 laps to go at Talladega. I know the race was not what we wanted, but hey, the finish could make it up. Here comes Sean Hart. 5 to go at Talladega. Cody Smart's going wild. This is going to be critical. Next, if a yellow comes out, this will end the race. Jessica Moore for Our Motorsports just put Sean Hart out to dry. Sean is probably out of contention. Monica Towns, we know, is out of contention. But she's trying to help her teammate, the 66, win so the 66 team can keep their charter for next season. 4 laps to go at Talladega. Xavier Allsop leads. How would it be if an MBM car go to victory lane? And Cody said, "Brah," about that. Here comes Emily Elizabeth down the backstretch. How about the 2 future teammates, possibly of Grubias and Brightly? They're in this for the win. Imagine Lauren Grubias in her debut race going to victory lane at Talladega of all sorts. That would be a massive upset. She would pull the James West of the Master Cup Series. 3 laps to go. I never would have thought I would be saying Lauren Grubias could possibly win in her debut race. Never would have thought that would happen. Never would have thought that could possibly happen. But remember, the 31 is not for position. She's a lap down. Well, there goes my plan. They're going to be catching Ari Springer soon as we're down to 2 to go. The only flag we're about to see next will be the white flag. I think Monica Towns is trying to help Emily Elizabeth keep her charter for next season. As we're down to 2 to go. But don't count out Mia Watts just yet in the 16. Annie Winters in the 98. Winters, a win for her. Annie Winters, that is. She's up to the championship 4. Don't count out Max Lipson just yet. White flag coming next time by. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Elizabeth? Is it going to be Annie Winters? Is it going to be Mia Watts? Or actually, Mia Watts is a lap down. I take that back. White flag. One more time around Talladega. Next flag will end this race. We will race back no matter what. Winters is going for it. She's got to have Prescott past the 66. Down the backstretch for the final time. When is Annie Winters going to make her move? She better make it now. Here comes Lucky Prescott. She's going for win number 4. Emily Elizabeth driving defensively, trying to make sure nobody passes her as they're coming to the tri-oval. One last chance for Prescott. It's not gonna happen. And Emily Elizabeth is gonna win at Talladega. And she will live to see another season in Buffalo Wild Wings. I talked about the drivers who's struggling in points, and Emily Elizabeth will live to see another day in the Buffalo Wild Wings series in a caution-free race. Which the last time, interestingly enough, we had a caution-free race was the sister track at Daytona in 2016. Holy cow! Well, even though we didn't have the big one, which is a little bit sad, but we still had a great finish. How is this going to shake up the playoff standings? Emily Elizabeth's first career Buffalo Wild Wings series win. Lucky Prescott, so darn close, but a second place for her. And that's bad news for like drivers like Stephanie Driscoll, Lulu Champagne, because here's the thing. If Lucky Prescott got enough points, she might be in that conversation of moving up to the Monster Energy Series next season. Wouldn't that be a shocker? Makoto Tanaka third, Annie Winters fourth. I think that might have just locked her a spot into the championship four, but we'll wait for official scoring to confirm that. I think ditto possibly for Max Lipson, and Winters will take the points lead heading into next week. Scarlett Nelson sixth, seventh for Ivory Walker. Wyatt Garcia eighth. He was in that danger zone. He might have just got himself possibly into the top four. JJ Park ninth and Victor Gonzalez in 10th. Where did the rest of our playoff drivers finish? Lulu Champagne 12th. I think she's done enough to lock herself a spot in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Carla Sanat 13th. Let me count how many playoff contenders we had in the top 10. We had one, two, three. Sanat came home 13th. That would be four. Good top 15 run for Grubia. She'll be delighted about that. Monica Towns had a tough day. As you look on down through the remainder of finishing results, Monica Towns 40th. Ever since losing the draft, she never recovered. I'm seeing a number of playoff contenders did not have good runs today. Monica Towns 40th. Bella San Diego, who was in the top 10, 35th. Ooh, that might put her in a must-win situation. I could say the same for Darby King, who would also be in a must-win situation heading into next week. Boy, I'm seeing a number of playoff contenders didn't have good runs. We had 37 cars finish the race on the lead lap. Ari Springer last them. Tough break for her. 38 through 41st finished the lap down. Jesse Art was the only car that finished out of the race. So if I'm looking at this correctly, and we'll get ready to confirm in just a second, I believe Annie Winters, with her result from Kansas 2 weeks ago, I think that might have just locked her a spot into the Final Four, regardless what happens next week at Homestead. But we're about to confirm that to you right here and right now, because I'm not going to take a jinx. You get another look at your official results. And like I said, for the first time since 2016, we've had a plate race go caution free. And the other one was at Daytona. And we all know how Daytona was now, don't we? All right. Here we go. This is going to put some, like I said, this is going to put a number of drivers in a must win situation. Sparks. Energy 300. 49 lead changes among 21 leaders. Who gets the U blew it? Uh-oh. I am not going to spoil it here on the deal, and I'm gonna just tell Cody when we get in the beat or when I unmute myself. All right, here we go. I'll get Groovius in here eventually. Excuse me. That belch came out of nowhere. What an interesting race. So we had a couple of yellows in our Truck Series race. We had some yellows in or no yellows in our Buffalo Wild Wings Series race. I'm a little bit skeptical of how tomorrow's Monster Energy Series race is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and wait. Okay, who was another rookie that was? Oh, Olympia Brightly. Duh. All right, let's go ahead and confirm that with you all. This is also the bad news with Emily Elizabeth winning. This will put somebody in the danger zone heading into next week. And here are the points heading into our second and final elimination race. Monica Towns was safe. Now she's below the cut line by 6 points. So that's going to be interesting to see where this will situate her. Darby King, Bella San Diego, definitely in a must-win situation. Greta Wagner, not sure what happened to her. So yeah, we're definitely going to have Ricky Raceway replace Talladega, and let's see how this affects the danger zone. So entering our next race, Sierra Harris, Chloe Carmichael. Let's see here. Peters, Watts, and Samantha Greenville. Thanks to Emily Elizabeth, Samantha Greenville just found herself in the danger zone of possibly losing her charter. And I think with 2 races to go, I think this might have just wrapped it up. If Lucky Prescott gets a top 15 at Homestead, she will take home Rookie of the Year honors. Well, that's going to do it here today at Talladega and a caution free race, which was a little interesting. And our Truck Series race had a lot of incidents. So, what could we see tomorrow as we wrap up our weekend for the Monster Energy Series drivers, especially those who are trying to make it to the Final Four? You'll have to find that out the same time we do. Hope you guys enjoyed this boring, wasn't such a good race, but congratulations, Emily Elizabeth. Anyway, if you did still enjoy this race, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We've shown you your full finisher results. You are looking at your rookie points and your overall points, including your playoff points, heading into next week at Homestead Miami Speedway. Tomorrow, we cap off this race weekend at Talladega with the running of the Monster Energy Series divisions. Before next week, AutoZone Amateur is off, and we have our 3 elimination races to determine who will be the final 4 to compete for the championship here in the PCSRA as the season is drawing to a close. So until then, I've been Dean Evil signing off. Thanks again for tuning into today's broadcast as you've been watching yet another broadcast courtesy of the PCSRA, the best in our racing around the world since 2017. Goodbye from Talladega.